Hearing this thing about Arne Slot being ruthless because of the decision he made, in which he felt like it was the right decision to make to actually try to get Liverpool playing so well. And I get it. People are saying that it was not fair. I actually have a quote from Alan Shearer in what I did not even expect to hear from him talking about that, because I thought that all the people that play football are professional. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect LFC. I'm your host Sam, and we are back again with another one. So do me a favor before we even go in with far, like that vid, subscribe to the Connect, and let me know what you thought of the first game of Arne Slot and how impressed were you in terms of the performance. But I actually want to talk about an incident in which so many people have been highlighting on, where social media went in and they've been covering and talking about how terrible this was and how much it will cause chaos over whatever that they're thinking. So I'm going to talk about how Arne Slot decided to take off Jarrod Quansah at 45 minutes so that he can try to put a bit of a balance in the team. And I'm going to give you, of course, the stats show is coming tomorrow. Be ready for that one, where I'll be analyzing every single thing that I changed and what we actually learned from Liverpool. So be excited about that, because I'll try to give you a more in-depth look over why Quansah had to go off for Liverpool to actually start playing. It's actually funny, but you will learn something there. So, of course, at halftime, Liverpool, the first half of it, Ipswich was one of the worst in terms of the way they were playing. What you have been seeing during the preseason all went out of the things. But also you can say that it's because that the players that were playing in the preseason are actually not the players that were playing in the first game, because most of them came late and they're still adjusting to the new management, or what the manager wants in Arne Slot. And I get that all of this makes sense, but the problem that people have right now that they're asking is that, why did he have to choose Jarrod Quansah? Why couldn't he not pick any other player in the squad to take out, so that at least by taking out that player, it doesn't look like he's picking up on a young kid? I get it. You might feel like that. You might feel like Jarrod was picked and they took advantage of that. But I'm going to try to explain something maybe for you to actually understand that it had to be him who goes out, so that there was better in terms of how the game went on. Like, because if we look at all the Jews that Jarrod Quansah came on his side, and I think I'll give you more depth in terms of number, sides and stuff. According to the reports I was hearing, he actually lost almost all of the Jews that he was receiving. But it's not even only about the Jews. It was about taking advantage of a player like Trent Alexander-Arnold to actually influence the game. And when he was playing with the Quansah, he was always trying by all means to be intact, very close to his centre-back, to help him move around and actually being able to influence the game. And I think in a sense, everything like that, all those things make sense. You want that to happen so that you actually get the best. So why did Arne Slot take out Jarrod Quansah? So if you remember, the way Liverpool plays, it's a 4-2-3-1 formation that we are playing at the moment. And of course, Jota was at top. Dominic Szoboszlai was just behind him. Next to him was Salah and Diaz, as well as behind it there was McAllister and Diaz and Gravenberch. By the way, there will be an analysis video on Gravenberch, so you should be ready for that one, where I actually go more in depth on why I think he's really gonna be one of the most important players in Liverpool, going further to, I don't know, until Liverpool decide to buy another DM. I'll try to do an analysis on that. But anyway, like what I'm talking about. So what was happening is this: Ipswich were really good in terms of the way they set everything up, the way they were attacking this game, the way they went to challenge this game, the way they were pushing Liverpool to not actually perform to the level that we're used to seeing Liverpool performing. They had a plan and a strategy in which that I do really respect, in which that whenever they did not have the ball, they were marking Liverpool man-to-man, or if it was not a man-to-man, it was a 4-2-4 formation, which means that the four players up front, they were covering each and every individual who was moving, who was at the back line, which means that that connection that we love the most, the build-up connection that I've always talked about, that it feels like there are two teams in one game, where Liverpool are trying to build from the back, doing the quick passes, putting in the midfield and allowing the movement to happen. It was practically impossible because everywhere where Van Dijk received the ball, there was a man who was covering his position to pass either in the midfield or maybe to Quansah, and it forces him to pass to Gomez and whenever to Robertson. And whenever the ball went to Robertson, either when he's under pressure, he has to kick it up top. Makes sense because of the pressure that they were under. And the other thing that was happening is this: whenever Quansah has the ball, he had to either quickly pass it back to Alisson or maybe pass to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who at some point he had no choice because, of course, the two that are in the middle would have moved and put him at the corner, which means he had to kick up top. And sometimes it was going to Salah or sometimes it was missing the mark. And of course, whenever a team that is, if the team is putting you pressure like that, the way it was doing, Arne Slot actually said it after the game that you are not supposed to only be doing the quick small passes when the team is marking you like this, because they will cover every space you have to actually have the ball moving. So you have to be intelligent about it. So what did Arne Slot did? He was like, okay, I'm gonna need somebody who's gonna be winning the duels because I'm about to open space at the back line. And this is really important because since I've been watching the Arne Slot's team, especially the Liverpool team, he has always made sure that the centre backs are very close to each other. Either it is moving to a back three or they were very close to each other. So he needed a player who, when they are actually under pressure with those long balls, he would win the duels while also opening up space to stretch those four players that Ipswich were putting. Because it was easy for Ipswich to stop Liverpool, because remember, there are four players at the back, and if they are very close to each other in that middle space and you put four players there, you just make it impossible for them to move the ball easily. So after he decided that he wanted to stretch the play, that allowed either Trent Alexander-Arnold to move in the midfield to make a midfield 3 or 4, Marker, Gravenberch and him, or maybe move and take advantage of the side spaces which were being opened. And by doing so, Konate winning his duels, getting the ball, passing it to Trent Alexander, or maybe passing to Gravenberch, who was passing to Salah back to Trent. It opened so many spaces and chances for Trent Alexander-Arnold either to cross it in for Diogo Jota to take advantage, or maybe for him to pass it through to Salah, or even pass it far away to where Luis Diaz was. And that made it easier, very, very easier for Ipswich to try to cover so much space in a big pitch like they were playing in, and it was difficult for them to be everywhere. That's hence why it felt like in the second half they tired so early. It was not because of saying that they could not keep up with the intensity of what they were doing or what. It was because of how Arne Slot used the formation he was using to allow the team to stretch that Ipswich time. And I don't think that was going to be possible for Trent Alexander to have that free role to be very, very influential in the movement and what he was doing without putting Konate, somebody who's very good in one-on-one defending, who's very good in winning duels, who's very good in bullying and actually pushing the strikers who are trying to actually use his sport to take advantage of that. And I think that's what made it easy. The reason why we could not see Salah, Jota, and Diaz in the first half is because they were not getting the ball in the position in which they can affect or actually take advantage of it. Or they were not getting the ball where they have enough space to run about or to actually take advantage of the duels when I'm talking on the Diaz side. But the fact that the pitch was more big, it forced some of the players to try and cover in the midfield, because that the 4-2-3 was now becoming either 5, so that they were trying to cover enough of the space, and it meant one of the centre back was moving in to become one of those two that were in the midfield, which means at the back there were a back 3. It means for a player like Trent Alexander-Arnold, for a player like Virgil van Dijk, who can kick the long balls, the head spaces. Go look right now, the ball that Virgil van Dijk passed to Mo Salah. Go try to counter the back line. Go count the defenders who were behind for that shot. That's when you understand that all these spaces were done just by one change. So it's not because he was taking advantage of Quansah. It's not because he was trying to show the ruthlessness by picking up the weakling in the team, in which everyone is calling Quansah, and taking him out. He was looking for a tactic in which he can take advantage of where they were losing. This guy is a winner. And I think we're already seeing it earlier. He wants to win no matter what. And sometimes if it means he sacrifices a player. And I'm sure for a fact, from the game to now, he's talking to Quansah, letting him understand why he had to be taken and why the things had to be done, and telling him in which sides or positions he has to improve so that he can actually be able to compete to that point where a Konate is already at. It's not about looking and pinpointing and saying that I'm going to take advantage of that. And that's what I'm refusing. I'm trying to make you people understand that this was actually a good thing which allowed Liverpool to take advantage of this team which were playing with tactically, because Ipswich wiped the floor with Liverpool in the first half. No matter how you try to do whatever you say, you can never sugarcoat it. They took advantage of Liverpool. They made us look like we're young kids. They made us look like it was our first time playing football. That's what I felt watching the game. They made us feel like it was our first time playing football. Yet they were coming from the championship. Hence, that's why the manager had to do what he did. Because if you had not done that, I don't think we're here talking about the victory. So whatever you want to say, it was a man-to-man mark that the manager had to do something to try and tweak and allow maybe a defender he is so comfortable with it that even if he's faced with two players, he'll always fight physically to get and actually take advantage. And I'm not saying that Quansah's role in the Liverpool team is out. No, I'm actually saying that Quansah will be used, and there will be moments where Liverpool take advantage of the fact that they need a Quansah who's very good in all the things that he's doing and is really developing so well. And I'm sure the manager will get the best out of him. And I think this is the first lesson he has been shown today and how he needs to improve. One thing that I've always said about Quansah was that he's somebody who's willing to learn. He has always been asking of so many videos to learn about how the best defenders, the Sergio Ramos, the Virgil van Dijk, and all the ones that we know of, and how they do that. He wants to learn. I'm sure this is a learning moment for him. And don't try to make it a social media fiasco where you feel like the manager is actually taking him out and taking advantage that he's not even the right player. Don't do that. It was never about that. It was about to get the team win, and he needed the victory. Hence, he is the first manager in this century to actually win his first game. You have to understand that. He's the first manager to actually win his first game. So all these things were meant to help Liverpool, not for anyone who's bored on the internet to take advantage and say that he actually did this to take advantage of Quansah. And no, you're getting it wrong there. Go watch the game. Try not only to watch the game also, but try to understand and analyze the tactical side on what Konate was offering when he got into the pitch to what Quansah was offering in the first half of the pitch. And I'm not saying that the manager should not have done that. Maybe should have given Quansah maybe even 10 minutes to try and do better with himself. But I felt like this is a decision he felt like he had to make, and he made it. Something that we all know for a fact that Jurgen Klopp was not going to do, because of course he wants to cover the players, he wants to protect. I get it. Sometimes you have to understand that you are dealing with a different manager, and the manager now we have, as much as he's a good man when he's smiling with people, he's somebody who is a control freak. He wants things to move the right way, and if you're not doing what he wants, he will take you out. Doesn't matter you're a Salah, doesn't matter you're a Virgil. If you're not doing what he's asking of you in the pitch, he will take you out, because what matters to him is to win the game. And I hope that's the thing that you learn from this game, because he's not going to be like a Moresca who takes out Raheem Sterling and still lose the game after all, because I feel like Sterling would have taken advantage of City with his speed and what he does, and man-to-man when he goes against a player. But we're not living in the same world, and it will not be looked the same way, because right now so many people are saying what Moresca did is a good thing, yet most of the people are coming out and saying what Slot did was actually a bad thing because he singled out a player. You're looking it in the wrong light right now. You're looking it in the wrong glimpse of light. I think you have to go watch that game again and analyze it better. Then you come back and talk to me. I think that's the best way you can do. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think of Slot's first game, and what are you expecting from the new Liverpool boss and the new Liverpool manager? How do you see his new season that has already begun going like, and what can be done from a point of view of exactly how far we want to go as a team? Because I think I'm really excited and I cannot wait to see how this progresses. Thank you very much for watching. I've been your host, Sammy, and we'll see you on another one. Click the like button and subscribe to the Football Connect LFC, because a lot is coming out. Peace.